Hi, this is Eric from Healthy Gorilla Podcast. I'm at my store, the Natural Food Exchange, and I'm here with Robert from Replenish Plus. Today we're going to talk a little bit about healthy ingredients in skincare, their importance. But first, why don't we start with a little background on you? How many patents do you have?
Well, I have about 300 international patent claims right now.
Is it real slacker?
Yeah, I'm not doing as well as I had hoped.
Yeah. So, how'd you get started in skincare? Why don't we do a little background? How'd you end up from I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you built the vats that a lot of the major companies use?
Well, not the vats, actually
Okay.
the processing equipment.
Okay.
Things like pumps, the sealing devices for those pumps.
Okay.
And so actually how they processed
Okay.
and manufactured material.
Okay.
So how did I get from manufacturing to making
Exactly.
this stuff? Well, it's because of the manufacturing that I got into making skincare products. I was selling to all kinds of industries,
Okay.
but chemical processing, and that includes certainly oil and Dow and all those other companies. But
Fantastic.
one of the biggest chemical processing companies in the world are those guys who make skincare products, because that's what it's all about, is chemicals. And I was going through there for 30 years. I was traveling 40 countries around the world.
Oof.
And so no matter which country I was in, whether it was a first world country or a third world country, there are no second world countries. I haven't figured those out yet. But no matter what I was in, the manufacturing was basically the same, whether a large company, small company, whatever, because everybody follows everybody else in this industry. And what I saw was the use of chemicals that I wouldn't want to put on my skin, in my body, or anywhere near me. And the thing is that, unfortunately, for the population at large, there are no government guidelines, overseers of skincare products. They can virtually put in anything they want, and it's okay. So
It's amazing.
And the chemical processing equipment I was manufacturing, the reason I have all those patents was because my equipment was leak-proof and very high efficiency. So they were buying my product because the chemicals they were using were dangerous for their own employees. So they wanted to protect their employees to avoid lawsuits, but once it goes into the jar and is sold to the world at large, it's okay.
Perfectly cool.
Perfectly cool.
So you've mentioned before, the regulation, and full disclosure, I have heard Robert talk before, so I have a couple cheat sheet notes.
I heard Mike talk before.
So the fascinating thing I found the first time I heard you speak was the difference in the amount of banned substances in different countries is the exact opposite of what you would expect.
Yes. You would think the United States, being the most advanced country in the world, and also the country that supposedly has the most scientific research of any country in the world, you would think, even though there's not a government overseer, that we would still protect our people better than anybody else. And the protection would be banning chemicals, certain chemicals that can be used in skincare products.
Right.
In the United States, as of, I believe, last month when I checked it, and this is April, sorry, this is May of 2021. In April, there are 15 to 18 chemicals that are banned for skincare use in the United States, of the 3,500 that are used. In Europe, there's closer to about 1,200 chemicals that are banned. And what's really annoying to me is in China, which is supposedly, the country that doesn't protect as well as other countries. They ban around 1,900 chemicals. Now they make our product there, and the chemicals they ban could be made in their plants to ship to the United States, but they can't sell it to their own people because of the bans.
It's amazing. It is amazing.
It's just an amazing setup.
And that brings you to?
That brings me to here.
To here.
So basically what started my company, Replenish Plus, was that I wasn't starting a company. Most of my family are women. I have two sisters, no brothers. My cousins are about 80% women. And women use more skincare products than men. And when I was seeing what was happening around the world and what was going into those jars, that's when I got concerned. For example, a chemical that's used to thicken up skincare products and to thicken up the water that's in it. Many of those chemicals that are used actually contain arsenic.
So that's the other thing. One of the other takeaways I took when I heard you speak. Last thing you want to buy is something that has the first ingredient as?
The first ingredient as water.
As water.
Because with water, and well, let me just finish one
Oh,
thought.
sorry.
No problem.
Yep.
Just so we know how we got here. And I'll explain the water, which is a very good question, and most people don't know it. What got me into it is I started the company formulating for protection of my own family. I had no idea, concept, whatever, starting a company. I just wanted to protect my family. The products worked so well and they were so healthy that I said, wow, maybe this is something I can do something with. So I stopped designing chemical processing equipment and formulating skincare products because I had access and knowledge after 30 years of talking to formulators from all over the world. So that's where I got to it. And one of the things that formulators always mention to me, and I researched afterwards, is they mention that their number one ingredient, and anybody looking at their own skincare products will see water, and 90% of the skincare products out there is the number one ingredient. If it isn't water, okay, they may say aloe vera, but aloe vera is 90% water. So they get around the water by saying aloe vera. The problem is when you put water into a skincare product, it's there for one reason and one reason only, to increase the bottom line profits of the manufacturer. Because your body is 65% water. You don't need any water. And they put it in there because it's inexpensive. But the minute they drop water into a skincare product, now all of a sudden they have to do, they reduce their cost because half the bottle is water, but now they have to basically thicken the water. All right? They have to preserve, because water is runny, and if it's a cream, and they have to preserve the water. All right? And because water is the basis of most bacteria that's sitting in there. And so what they're doing is, and they also have to change the water in order for it to mix with the oil, because water and oil don't mix. So it's the
emulsifying process is okay.
Those three items. Thickening water requires chemicals. As I said, it can contain arsenic. Preserving water usually is done with a formaldehyde or a form of formaldehyde, which is good if you're dead.
Or a frog in biology class,
or a frog in biology, but not good when you're alive. And emulsification requires the use of certain dioxanes, like 1,4-dioxane or other chemicals that are very carcinogenic. So the minute you see water in a skincare product, you know it's loaded with a lot of these chemicals, which, by the way, are never listed because they're processing chemicals, and nobody lists processing chemicals, which is where most of the danger is.
Which is the most fascinating part, because those are the ones you want to know.
Just like processed food. They never list what's processed, but processed food is the worst thing for you for the same reason.
It's amazing. All right. So your products, you can add water too. You just do it at the point of use.
Yeah, I mean.
So it's not so the problem is leaving it for 3 months on a shelf is the problem. But you can explain that, because that's, my wife does this. She takes a little of the product, she puts a little water in it.
Well, you can do two things. Some people never use water, okay? I mean, by eliminating water, obviously if I take the product and it's 50% of water is eliminated, so you're left with a concentrate, the nutritional value is much higher than anything else that you're buying. So when you're putting a concentrated nutritional value on your body, it's a lot better than diluted.
It's interesting that you say nutritional value, because we often don't, I think of consuming something when you say nutritional value, but it's actually nutrition for your skin.
This is skin food, and it's skin nutrition. Moisturizing, a lot of people buy moisturizers. Well, moisturizing isn't really what your skin needs. I mean, yes, you can put a little moisturizing on it, but what you really want in order to get away from the aging of your skin, you know, getting away of the sunspots, the rest of it, you want to nutritionalize your skin. Because if you nutritionalize your skin cells, then they become energized and they can fight off the decay.
Okay.
Moisturizing doesn't do anything for you, realistically, other than an instantaneous look. Okay, but once the moisturizer is gone, your skin goes right back to where it was. You want to nutritionalize. We nutritionalize, moisturize a second. We moisturize better than anybody else because of the concentrate, but it's the secondary aspect.
So that's a byproduct of just feeding your skin, essentially. Yeah. Okay.
Now, most companies only moisturize because there's so many chemicals in there. They're not only not nutritionalizing, they're actually taking away some of the stuff that was already in your skin that was good. So, yes, what we're doing is we're nutritionalizing, and it's a concentrate. It's a little thicker because it is a concentrate, and you just use less of it. A jar of ours, of 2 ounces of our product, should last 6 ounces of anybody else's product. But if you want it a little thinner, a little lighter, you want to you want to spread it out, then take water from your sink or somewhere from a bottle of spring water, whatever you want to do. Put a little drop in it, thin it out. You don't have to preserve it because it's just water that you
it's instantaneous.
Instantaneous. You don't have to worry about it whether it's emulsifying because you're just mixing it in your hand. And take a little drop of water yourself, thin it out, then put it on your face, neck, or wherever you want to put it on your body. But don't pay for a half a bottle of water to do what you can do for nothing.
Nice.
No cost.
Had no cost.
Yeah. So that's the whole idea of what we're trying to do.
I think it's great. And it works.
It does work.
It does work.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the whole concept and that's what I spent so many years developing and going through it to make sure it does work, but work in a healthy way. And that's, our whole philosophy is if you can't put it in your body, don't put it on your body. Your skin is the largest organ in your body. And there are 3 major layers, your epidermis, your dermis, and your hypodermis. And as you go deeper into your skin, you get more connection. Your skin connects every part of your body, your liver, your kidney. It's the connective tissue. And if you disrupt that tissue, then you're actually disrupting everything in your body. Your functioning, or your organs, and everything else that's going on. So people don't realize when they think about it how protective and how necessary the skin is. And the last thing you want to put something bad on is your skin. Because it will get everywhere else.
It will.
So that's what we want to avoid.
So explain one last thing. Explain for me, if nobody else, because I want to be able to explain this to other people, what happens when you put on something. Explain to me the process of covering up the sins on your face, but that then actually dries out the under layers of your skin.
You mean when they want to get rid of wrinkles?
Exactly, thank you.
Okay.
Clearly I don't use enough product.
Yeah.
But explain that to me because I only have a halfway working knowledge of it. I want to be able to add that to my repertoire.
Well, understand that skincare products are sold more on hype than realism, okay? And
I'm shocked.
It's amazing.
I'm shocked.
I've never seen anything like it. I would have never guessed it. But, we all want to look better. We all want to look younger, okay? And so certainly the manufacturers know if they focus on that aspect, then they'll get the most buyers.
Right.
And so, I don't know if you've ever seen these ads on TV where they, and I won't name the brand, but they'll put something on their eye and then they'll show, a little clicking clock.
That's
say,
it.
Look, 15 minutes later,
That's
all your wrinkles are gone.
Yep.
Well, it took you probably 20 or 30 years to get those wrinkles.
Yep.
And let me tell you, there's nothing natural that gets rid of them in 15 and 20 minutes. The way they do it is a system which I refer to as plug and plump. And basically
that's the part I forgot.
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing. What they're doing is they're putting chemicals into your skin. You take this out, you're putting chemicals into your skin. One of the big ones is something like hyaluronic acid. And the whole idea is, if I can put something into your skin and get that chemical to plump up by absorbing water, which is the way it's done.
Yeah.
For example, hyaluronic acid will absorb 1,000 times its own weight in water. So if I can get hyaluronic acid into your pores and get it under your skin, all right, and let it sit there and absorb water, then it will plump up, and that's how those miraculous wrinkles disappear. Of course, as soon as the hyaluronic acid is out of your body, the wrinkles come right back. They never say gone forever. They just say appearance for the moment.
Yeah.
The problem is they can't let the water go into the hyaluronic acid and just allow it to occur without doing something else, because it will evaporate as quickly as it sponges into the hyaluronic acid. So they have to then plug your pores. So what they do with those kind of skincare products is you put it on your skin, and yes, the hyaluronic acid rushes into your skin, but then there's another series of chemicals that are slowly plugging your pores, what they call comedogenic. And by plugging your pores, they now are not worried about the water evaporating quickly until you wash your face and get rid of the comedogenic chemicals. So the hyaluronic acid still wants the water, so it looks around in your body and says, where can I grab some water? Well, where you have the most water, unfortunately, is down on the third level, your hypodermis. And that's your connective tissues, by the way. So the hyaluronic acid will start sucking water out of that third level of skin. Now that dries up the one level of skin you don't want to dry up, because that's all your connections, and that's where the blood flows and the rest of it. So what happens is, plugs up, it grabs the water, pumps up, miraculously your wrinkles disappear in 15 minutes, but in the meantime you're destroying the inner parts of your body, and then when you wash your face that night and all those other chemicals that were plugging your pores come off, which is really bad for you also, then it just evaporates out and you're back to where, if not worse.
Well, worse off, because you've dehydrated everything underneath, which
you've done some additional damage. That's the byproduct.
Just putting it down the road.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I mean, that's what it's all about. The thing is, you never want to put anything on your body that wasn't intended to be there and wasn't basically produced by Mother Nature. Mother Nature, for the most part, what she produces is good for your body. It's we as human beings, we take Mother Nature and we kind of make chemicals to synthesize, and we take petroleum and we make a lot of chemicals out of that. And the minute your body gets these chemicals on them, basically because they're not normal or natural, they see them actually as an enemy. It's like an invasion of the body. And the last thing you want to do is put these chemicals in your body, because your body then rushes antibodies to it to fight it. And that's what causes the side effects, because you only have so many soldiers in your antibodies. You're using them up to fight. It leaves them, not enough to fight the real things you want to fight off, and in the meantime, it's causing damage. And the worst time to put that on is even at night, because that's when your body is at rest, and normally that's when it will repair itself. You put on these night chemicals that the body sees as an antibody, rather than resting your body and repairing your body, it's fighting off the invasion. So that's what you don't want to do. And that's what we avoid. We don't put anything that your body fights. I get a kick out of people, you'll watch TV and you'll see these ads for all these pharmaceutical drugs and everything. And you say, I saw one, I won't name the name of the medicine, but just a few days ago, and it's to fight depression. And the side effect is that you become suicidal. You say to yourself, wait a second, I'm trying to fight depression, and you're going to give me a drug that causes me to think, become suicidal. Well, there's always side effects. We have produced a product that is Mother Nature. It's unaltered, non-GMO, no processing.
Very simple ingredients if we look in the back. So
virtually edible, although
I have seen you.
Yeah, but I wouldn't advertise it as edible.
No, we will not.
And we will not here. But what I'm saying is, your body doesn't have a side effect because you're not putting something strange into it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all the information. Robert's products are available at the Natural Food Exchange, also all across the country. So please come here. Otherwise, we're going to put a link to your website. If you have any questions, you can email him directly. Robert's a good guy. He's always entertaining. Very nice guy. One of the most honorable people that I've had the pleasure of dealing with since I bought the store. So you're welcome anytime, my friend.
That goes in both directions, by the way. So are you. You're one of
Right.
the best people to work with.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
oh, we're both full of crap.
No, we're not. I'm not.